What's up, YouTube? In this video, I'm going to give my honest review of Warzone 3 as it stands in Season 1 from the perspective of, I would say an above average Warzone player that's been grinding since March 2020. And just to preface, this is in no way hating on the game or others, but my thoughts and constructive criticisms. And at the same time, I'm still having plenty of fun compared to the previous iteration of Warzone. And mentioning that, in a lot of ways, this game is still very much Warzone 2. So I'm going to go over a couple of different tiers, starting with the good, then move into the okay, and then finally the bad and the ugly, with a couple of whys at the end. Just, why didn't the game add this in and things like that. Starting with the good, I think we can all agree that the movement has seen a major improvement since the last Warzone, and we're all enjoying the slide canceling and just the overall fluidity of everything is feeling very nice. Now, me, in my personal opinion, I still think there's room for improvement here, such as the delay in the attack sprint. I really don't see a purpose for it in Big Map Warzone, and it really just kind of makes things feel a little bit more clunky than they should. And next we have the quality of life updates, now some of which we had since Caldera, such as a total money count for your squad, but now we also have cheaper loadouts. Everyone has pistols and water. We have faster climbing on ladders, which helps not being shot in the back, and the zip lines are a lot faster to get across. The portable radars have more range, and I believe that the heartbeat sensor does too, which is nice for pushing enemies. And as kind of a bonus, the resurgence modes are a lot more fun now with the improvements in movement. I've been having a blast on Ashika Island and Vondel off stream. And that's really it. When it comes to the good compared to the previous Warzone, that's where we're at. Now moving into the okay, the map, while it's very nice visually, there's still a lot of visual clutter and things like that, but overall it looks good. The POIs are somewhat interesting. There's plenty of cover, but the water, there's too much water to traverse, and trying to get around quickly is a bit of a hassle in the vehicles because you have to find a bridge. So in my opinion, the map could use a bit more work to get around faster, but overall it's okay. The gulag is very weird, probably the worst gulag we've had, but it's still okay enough to not be a huge deal. I think it's basically, it's like a 2-lane push and people are always holding one side, so it's like a 50-50. It's not very fun to play. And as well, the gas mask, I mean, this thing takes up backpack space, and otherwise it's just on your face the whole time, kind of making the game look a little bit worse. So moving on, I want to talk about the TTK, which I think we can all agree is a bit too fast, actually way too fast on the BAS-B, the DG56, and now the MTZ Interceptor as well. And it pretty much makes it where you have to run these guns to compete or even have a good game at all. So not very conducive to a very fun battle royale experience. As well, the lobby player count still being capped at 100 players. To me, it makes the mid game still feel really slow, and I would like to see that up to at least 120 players. I don't think that would cause any issues. And speaking as an above average Warzone player, now I'm looking at maybe 10 to 20 kills on some of my best games. And while that's not too bad, I used to get, closer to 30 on my really good games in Warzone 1. Even with 100 players or less in my lobbies, I'm still getting a lot of lag and packet bursts and things like that. And it really doesn't make a lot of sense considering that this is a AAA company that can afford the best servers and things like that. So it's like, y'all please fix the lag and server issues. I'd also like to talk about the sniping for a minute. While I've been having a lot of fun with the CAT AMR, I can't help but miss how the Warzone 1 days were with the marksman rifles with snappy ADS times and just perfect bullet velocity for hitting headshots at good ranges, even with that snappy ADS. Now, I don't think that they should give us back the Car 98, but they should give us something closer to that than just the heavy 50 cal rifle that's the CAT AMR. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, this game still plays very much like Warzone 2 in that positioning matters more than movement and skill and sniping. And a big reason for that too is the circle gas is very deadly, and the matches are only 20 minutes long, which gives you less time to rotate. So I think they should make matches 24 to 27 minutes long and nerf the circle gas a little bit maybe. And now I want to get into the ugly sides of things of Warzone Urzikstan. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the audio. What an absolute F. We can't hear anybody, any enemies pushing us with footstep audio. We cannot hear parachute audio when enemies are landing in on us. as well as we cannot hear when others are climbing ladders. This is, in my opinion, atrocious game development, and I don't know how they did not game test to find out that this was the case. So essentially, everybody's running around with dead silence, and it does not make for a fun or skillful experience. So hopefully, they fix this very soon. Then we have skill based matchmaking, the biggest elephant in the room. And I gotta say, it feels like it's been turned up to absolute overdrive, even on Warzone solos, which was always kind of like a bit of a safe haven away from skill based matchmaking. So it's kind of ridiculous that I can't even log in and play solo, after work and just kind of chill because once again, like I'm saying, I'm an above average Warzone player, but this game, just because of that, treats me as if I'm a pro. And the thing is, I'm not always on point. I'm not always 100% locked in, but my stats, they might say otherwise. But this game just wants to throw me in with nothing but other demons who've been on the game for 12 hours that day and are completely locked in. And quite frankly, it's pretty ridiculous because the Warzone pubs are now ranked without giving you a ranked or giving you any kind of uh, reward for sweating this hard. So I don't know what the fix is there. There probably won't be many changes, but compared to Warzone 2, but even Caldera, the skill base feels way heavier. And it's like there's no chance you can ever play with your casual friends because they will not have fun if you're playing duos and trios together. And something nobody really talks about is that the whole skill-based thing, it only benefits the worst players because those are the ones who are in the protected brackets, and the best players, the actual pros. Because guess what? They run together in duos, trios, and quads, and all of their pro level skills stacked together makes it where even the sweatiest lobbies really aren't that big of a problem to them because they're on this game all day and they're able to meet those challenges, and they don't have full-time jobs and everything else that most other Call of Duty players have. So skill based, it really just hurts people like me that are above average in the game, pretty decent, but are not always locked in. But moving on, another very ugly issue going on right now in the Call of Duty community is the shadow bans. And I wouldn't doubt that over 50% of the player base has been shadow banned at this point, with 3 to 5 days where they're reviewing your account and then you get unbanned and you can potentially get caught in this loop where it just keeps happening. And I think that it should be one of the top priorities for Activision or whoever else to figure this out and to really look at the main issue, which is that real cheaters are not being caught by Ricochet. So they need to give us a real anti-cheat and fix this mass reporting shadow ban system that they have. And now, finally, I would like to get into some of the whys. Like, why don't we have air combat when we drop out of the planes anymore? I think we all agree that shooting the pistols in the sky was a lot of fun in Warzone 1. And also in the redeploys, coming down with your AR blasting at people was a lot of fun too. Also, why don't we have after lobby comms anymore? I don't think we do, and it was always a good time after a Warzone win to either talk a little bit of mess or say GG's to other Call of Duty players. And another big thing for me, at least, is the vehicles. Why don't we have fun vehicles in this game? They're still very much like Warzone 2, slow and clunky. But we want that fast, easy to maneuver helicopter and heavy vehicles. And finally, why don't we have weapon tuning? I think we all loved weapon tuning. Just kidding. Unless it's only for the reticles to move them further or closer to you, which was probably the only useful aspect of weapon tuning. So this was a bit more of a long-winded video where I'm kind of going over everything, but my overall ranking for this iteration of Warzone 3 if you will, or Warzone Urzikstan would be a 7.5, which gives it a lot of room for improvement, and I hope that they do Sledgehammer and Raven work on improving these items. And if you've watched this long, please like and subscribe, and thank you for supporting the channel. Until next time.